Hi everybody, Saturday morning. Got home yesterday, pretty worn out. Took a nap, mowed the grass before it stormed. Had to mow my neighbor's grass today after they get done with their garage sale. I thought I'd show you what I've been doing. So last night before I went to bed, I put the decals on the wrecker, touched up the paint a little bit. They give you a piece of, it's really kind of ingenious, like a molded piece of clear styrene that goes over top of it's like molded in the shape of the cab of the truck, and you're supposed to cut it out and fit it into place and glue it in with canopy cement. But I just used the micro crystal clear. I thought that would be easier in my case than to try to do that, but it is pretty cool what they give you. You can see I've got the rigging. I found the piece that I was missing, so I've got all the lines on it and the rigging and the little sling and all that. So that's where it's going to live. This is going to be like a sort of a garage type thing, business. Can't see the back side of it, but it's my theory is this is a mechanic sort of works out of here and has his own tow truck. I've got this is where I envision the fire tower going. Of course, I had to continue working on it. Had some comments about the roof being a little bit too flat, and I do agree. Probably could have a little bit more pitch on it. If you get down south where there's don't worry about snow, roof is fine, but up in the north, farther north you go, the steeper the roof seemed to be. I googled pictures on it. I think it could be a little steeper, but at this point I'm not going to redo it. If I was going to do it again, buy another one, yeah, I'd probably make the roof a little bit steeper. And I made this roof much harder than it needed to be. I could have, in retrospect, figure out a better way, better way to do it than I did. So I have the stream bed painted in where it's sort of dark. That's going to be represent the depth. I feathered it out a little bit so you can see it around the edges. It's a little bit more gray. Could be working on that today. I'm going to sift. I'm going to cover this with matte medium, watered down matte medium, and sift dirt on all of this bare stuff. That's going to be my project for the day anyhow, because it's getting pretty hot outside, so I'm going to try to work inside most of the day, except for when I have to mow the grass. I do want to show you one other thing kind of cool that I rigged up, but I'm going to stop the camera and put it in place. Okay, so I've got this clamp that clamps onto my light valance, and this is flexible, and this holds my cell phone. So I can suspend my cell phone out over the tracks and do run-bys. It gives me a lot more flexibility for different photo angles. Took a little bit of rigging to get it. I bought this thing. It's the same top. It's supposed to have a GoPro mount on it. Well, I don't know what a GoPro mount is. So I ordered something and it didn't work, but I was able to modify it. This other piece is from Octo Mount. Both of these are really cheap, less than 20 bucks, maybe 10, 15 bucks a piece. Anyhow, I was able to rig it up, and I can, I can't like pan with it, and I can't do anything smooth, but this thing gives you a lot of flexibility options. Of course, when you bump it, it's going to do this. So, but anyhow, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to try to get some different photo angles with it. Well, here's my first experiment with it. You know how your cell phone, the camera is in one corner. So in this shot, the camera was in the opposite corner instead of being closer to the tracks. But still, I think it's a good angle. And I can play around with that, Just, I like having the different options to keep the videos interesting for you guys. So You'll be seeing more of this when I get back to operating, but it's going to be tough to operate until I get the Oak Hill scenery at least roughed in place so I can take down my paper curtain. Sort of catch up on a couple things here. I went to the N-Scale weekend up in Columbus, Ohio, I don't know, a month ago or so, whenever it was. Guy up there was selling a bunch of 3D printed cars. I bought this Pinto, which is hard to see. Of course, it was just, they're like a completely unpainted, no windshields, but they're $4 a piece. And then I bought this. I don't know what this is. It's a Malibu or something. So I had to paint them. Put windshield. I used the micro crystal clear for windshields. Another thing I did. Remember, I bought this steam engine, which I'm really, really thrilled with the way it runs. But it did not have a front coupler. So I was poking around trying to figure out a way to put a front coupler in this Top Hobby Trains. Actually does a coupler conversion with a new pilot and everything. So I sent it to them, and pretty quick turnaround, so now I can actually use it to switch. This thing just runs phenomenal. Oh, there's focusing on there. It runs great. Really like it. I'm going to have to find an excuse to run it more. Alright, it's Sunday afternoon, and this is where I'm at. So I've used the sifted dirt and put it down over the Mod Podge, and then I sprayed it with glue, rubbing alcohol and glue. So this is all pretty solid through here. I just set the bridge in place. So again, this is going to be like a cattle pasture. I've ordered some barbed wire, the Woodland Scenics barbed wire. That seems to be pretty reasonably priced, and I don't need that much of it, so I thought I would try it anyhow. Ordered some of that. This is just going to be a forested hill up here, and the back side here is just going to be sloped down with brush and things like that. I do need to finish this sort of edge where I had the paper. Along the back here, I can't remember what they call it, but Woodland Scenics makes a product and comes in different colors. It's like forest canopy. So I'm just going to try something like that along this back here. It's probably going to cover about all that. You might see little hints of it here and there, but I need to finish the scenery back in here before I put the track in, I think. So I'm going to finish the scenery at least on the back in here and pour the creek before I put the track in. I can do the track after, I can do the scenery after the track's in on these parts. You can see the fire tower, I think. Actually, I went back and looked at pictures of the actual fire tower that inspired this. And it was painted red at one time. Of course, now it's faded to a pretty pink. But I just went ahead and left it red. It's red over silver, so it's a little pinkish. It's starting to fade a little bit. I did add an antenna to it. Just a piece of wire. I took one of my TV antennas and chopped it up so it didn't look like a TV antenna. So I think that's where that's going to go. I wish I had done a better job of planning and had more of a flat spot there for it. I think that it's big enough, but who knows? I thought about actually putting it over here I don't like it being that close to the town, so I'd rather have it be more out in the country. And this hill isn't as tall as that hill, and usually they put them on, taller hills. This is all going to be, well, it's going to be around the fire towers. They don't have trees around the fire towers. That's usually like a grassy area or gravel or something. You don't want trees on fire right next to the fire tower. So they usually keep it pretty much mowed around there, keep all the vegetation stopped down. So that's probably just going to be like grass and things around this. And then the rest of this is going to be trees. Haven't decided about this yet. I'm leaning just toward trees, like a forested area. But, this whole thing covered with trees might be kind of boring. So I don't know. I might do something else. Or I could have a little road going up through it or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So that's my plans. I've got stuff ordered. I will bring the camera down. I did have to touch up the river again a little bit, and I made the blending of the colors a little bit more to match the earth color. It was more gray. I didn't like it, so I made it a little bit more tan color. So again, this is going to be very rocky, very shallow. I have a lot of rocks in it. There's going to be places where it has riffles and things like that. It's not going to be a deep pour like my other one was. That's where I'm at. So I'm waiting for materials. I do have 2mm static grass. I could go ahead and do this hill. And it won't be in my way if I do that. So I might do that this week. Go ahead and do this hill. But I don't have any tree material at all. And I did order also some super trees, starter kit. I'm going to try what those are like. But again, for the back here, I think it's just going to be that forest canopy. We'll see what that looks like. I think it's important that all the trees sort of blend. You don't want to all of a sudden go, like I really, really like the trees that I got from Bob, Long Shadows model trees. I decided I want to have my own trees down here. I wanted to try it. I'm a model railroader. I want to try it. And so I think it's important that everything sort of blends together. You don't just all of a sudden have some, completely different looking trees. So I'll be working on that this week. I do have the curtain down now, so I can do some switching operations. I may do a switching operation, film that for you guys as soon as I get this part put back in place and I can put the building back. So that's all for now. Have any questions or comments, let me know. Thanks for watching and stay safe.